This is the pattern for the pincushion. I use different of scraps of fabric and some embroidery thread, a pearl and some velcro. Cut the pattern. The pattern includes seam allowance, so make sure that it fits your wrist. It should overlap a few centimeters too. Cut in the fabric that you want for the wrist, and then you fold it right sides together and pin one long side and one short side. Use a straight stitch and sew with 1 centimeter seam allowance. One of the short sides should be open. When you get to the corner, you leave the needle in the fabric and you turn. And make sure that you stop 1 centimeter before the side ends, like this. Trim off the excess fabric in the corner. Press the seam allowance. Turn it so the right sides are out. You can use a crochet needle for help. You can use a pin to get all the corners turned correctly. Press. Turn the raw edges on the other short side in. Pin it and press it. Make a top stitch around the strap. It should be quite close to the edge. Think about how you're going to close the strap around your wrist, and you pin the velcro in the right place. When I sew around the velcro, I use a small zigzag stitch. Do not use velcro with glue. The glue will stick on the sewing needle and cause problems. Now I'm going to make some leaves from wool felt, and I use the pattern for the flower, and I mark around it. Then I use a decoration stitch, which I like, and I sew right inside of the line which I've just drawn. Cut according to your markings. These two fabrics are right sides together, and I pin the pattern for the flower. Mark around the pattern. Now you sew according to your markings with a straight stitch if you have used a woven fabric. Make sure that you leave an opening so you can turn the right sides out. The opening can be 4 centimeters. Cut around the flower, leaving a seam allowance of about 1/2 centimeter. On all the inward seams you should make a notch like this, so it looks good when you turn the right sides out. Press the flower and stuff it with filling. Make sure that all the raw edges are on the inside when you pin the opening close. And then I use a needle and thread, and I sew the opening closed with a slip stitch. I sew forward on one side and then I skip to the other side and I sew a small stitch on that side, and so on. And then I fasten the thread. I made a knot on the embroidery thread and I sew around the flower like this, and I pull the thread so it goes inwards a little bit in the center, and then I fasten the pearl in the center and I fasten the thread. Now I sew the leaf, the flower and the wristband together with needle and thread. When you're sure that it is all in place, then you secure the thread and then you're finished.